Hi, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about Governor Kathy Hochul, who could possibly be possibly struggling to win re-election in 2026. Now this is New York, right? New York is a safe Democrat state. Actually, not this year since Kamala Harris did win New York by only 11 points, which is under the safe margin you need for about 15 points. But really, New York has always been a safe place for Democrats. You know, they've been winning it for over 50 years now. Kamala Harris winning New York this year would actually mark that 50-year period, or excuse me, I believe it's 40 years period. I believe last time. So they took it in the 80s, and it's the 20s now, and they've been winning it, since. So it's been about 40 years, and they'll probably continue to win it unless we see some shifts. For these past couple decades, New York has been shifting left. However, if you compare 2020 to 2024, they have shifted right by a lot. But in 2028, they could shift left again or right. We don't know. But anyways, sorry, I'm getting kind of off topic here, but Kathy Hochul possibly in trouble for re-election. It is still 2024. However, any governor news I will be uploading, so we can go back to it in like 2 years' time, and we'll see. Wow, maybe Kathy Hochul wasn't in trouble at all, or wow, I guess we were right about Kathy Hochul or another governor. But anyways, I saw this about a couple days ago when I was reading about this in the news. This news article that's reporting on this New York Democrat who could possibly kickstart his campaign probably when we get into 2025 here against Kathy Hochul, a Democrat representative that says Kathy Hochul is the new Joe Biden. Saying that is because Joe Biden, right? A lot of Democrats were saying Joe Biden wouldn't win re-election. Joe Biden wouldn't win re-election. And Joe Biden ended up dropping out from all the pressure. Kamala Harris was the nominee, and then she ended up losing to Donald Trump. So, New York Democrats are now facing the possibility that Kathy Hochul could repeat history with Joe Biden. Being an unpopular incumbent governor facing re-election, and could possibly hand the governorship to the Republicans. Now, I highly doubt that could happen, but her re-election from 2 years ago is actually very concerning because you do not win the governorship by 6 points as a Democrat. It's just embarrassing. You do not win 6 points as a Democrat governor in New York. But look at Pennsylvania here, 14 points. That is the margin or more Hochul would want to win by. 6 points or even below that would be a disaster. Sure, she still won re-election, but 6 points is incredibly close. And I'm going to show you how close it is once we go down to 2018 here, when Andrew Cuomo won by 23 points. So Cuomo winning by 23 points and then Hochul winning by 6 points. That is a crazy about 15, 16 point shift to the right. So not good for Kathy Hochul and New York Democrats. However, they have had some good luck or some good news with picking out those House races that they lost 2 years ago. But still, we look at 2018, Cuomo won by 23 points, right? And then we go back to 2012. Oh wait, no, am I wrong? Oh, I'm thinking about senators. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2014. Cuomo won by 13 points. So Cuomo was able to win New York in 2014 by 13 points. And in 18, he won by 23 points. So that is a 10-point shift to the left. And then 2022, Kathy Hochul was able to win re-election by just 6 points. Now in 2022, Kathy Hochul, it was only a year since Kathy Hochul was sworn in as governor because of Andrew Cuomo having to resign as governor because of all those sexual allegations that came out against him. There were talks about possible impeachment if he didn't step down. Even President Biden said Andrew Cuomo had to go. So Andrew Cuomo ended up stepping down, resigning, and Kathy Hochul, who was his lieutenant governor, was sworn in as governor. So not being elected into the governorship, Kathy Hochul was already facing a challenge against Republican challenger Lee Zeldin. Now, we know that Lee Zeldin will not be running for the governorship this time around because he will be in Donald Trump's cabinet unless his confirmation in the Senate fails, which I don't think it will. There are a lot of other cabinet positions that are much more concerning to the Democrats and the Senate Republicans than Lee Zeldin. You have Pete Hegseth, you have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and there's just so more. There's just so much. So I don't think that Lee Zeldin will be running for governor again this time around. We're probably going to have another Republican candidate. Now, Lee Zeldin actually ran on crime, the economy, but mostly crime. He ran on mostly crime. Kathy Hochul ran on abortion and women's rights, and she was still able to win, but she won by such a small margin. And it's going to be really interesting to see if she does win by this time, if she performs better than she did 2 years ago, or if it's even worse, and the election is closer than 2022, or if the Republican is able to win the governorship for the first time since I believe 2002 or 2004, somewhere around there. Actually, I think I could. So let's see. We go back. I think it's 2002. Yeah, it's 2002. So the last time, yep, the Republicans won New York governor was 2002, and I believe they lost it 6 years later, right? 6 years later. Yep, yep. Look at that. 40-point win in 2006. 2006 was a blue wave year. And then we have 2010, where I believe Andrew Cuomo was elected. Yep, he won by 29 points. Sure, that is it was a 20-point shift to the right, but still impressive for a Democrat. However, this was 14 years ago. But anyways, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting how Kathy Hochul deals with this, as she's unpopular. She's facing Joe Biden nostalgia, as Joe Biden was also very unpopular and still is as of right now. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But this New York Democrat representative, possibly could run for governor. Representative Richie Torres, Democrat from New York, on Friday took to X to condemn New York Governor Kathy Hochul as the new Joe Biden. Hochul, he wrote, appears to be in denial of her vulnerabilities as a Democratic nominee. The remark likely refers to President Joe Biden's decision to run for re-election despite his relative unpopularity. So that is really something there. A Democratic incumbent who was I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys can see it. All right, a Democratic incumbent who is less popular in New York than Donald Trump is in grave danger of losing to a Republican in 2026, an outcome not seen in 30 years. So yeah, he's really labeling out on how this could be a repeat in history from 2024 to 2026. However, still too early to tell. But anyways, Rep. Torres also seeming to refer to Biden's 11th-hour decision to exit the 2024 presidential race as the leading cause of President-elect Donald Trump's victory. A similar situation in New York, he said, could lead to the state having a Republican governor. Let's avoid repeating history and avoid sleepwalking toward impending disaster and defeat, Representative Torres wrote. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So he is really signaling the alarm bell here and saying that Kathy Hochul should probably step aside, let this primary thing happen, something Joe Biden did not do. Obviously, Joe Biden stepped down as the nominee in July. There was no primary process. They threw in Kathy Hochul, or, oh my goodness, not Kathy Hochul, Jesus. Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump. But anyways, so there are really worries within the New York Democrats that they could possibly, be facing a repeat of history here. His comments come ahead of the... Oh my goodness, what just happened? I just went back. I don't know what... Oh, there we go. His comments come ahead of New York 2026 gubernatorial election, which will see Hochul's campaign for another term in Albany. Representative Torres has repeatedly expressed interest in running for governor, though he has not formally announced or launched a campaign. I will confess that I am hardly an expert on every county in New York, Representative Torres told Politico Friday ahead of a planned statewide tour, but I look forward to traveling throughout the state. I hope to embark on a listening tour and find out about the needs of New York State. Representative Torres condemned what he called a leadership crisis in New York State in a separate social media post Thursday. Why did Donald Trump make greater gains in New York than he did elsewhere in America? He has to be asked. The reason might have been something to do with the poverty or governance in New York. So, once again, this Democrat really signaling the alarm bells with Donald Trump's performance in New York State. I could actually pull that up for you guys right now. So we go to CNN result. Yeah, look at that. Harris had an 11-point win. Massive shift to the right. As a Democrat presidential candidate, you do not want a win in New York under 15 or 18 points. Most importantly, 15 points. Why? Because that is under the solid margin, the safe Democrat margin. So to really show an example, look at New Hampshire here, 31 points. Massachusetts, 24 points. Right, all above that safe margin. Maryland, 28 points. California, 20 points. Washington, 18 points. And you could look at this same with, I guess, the Republican states. South Carolina, 17 points. West Virginia, 41. Kentucky, 30. Indiana, 19. Right? All these were obviously going to go safe for Trump. This one, I actually predicted this would go safe for Harris, which almost did. So I guess it's almost in a safe margin, but you can really see under 15 points is where you get into that tilt margin. And New York was a tilt state this year, not a safe state for Democrats, which very concerning for Democrats, and it's very good news for Republicans, despite losing those 3 Republican seats in the Congress for New York. But still, if I was a Republican in New York, I would be, I'd be getting out the confetti, I'd getting out the wine, really seeing this right shift in New York. And, especially with Kathy Hochul winning the governor race by only 6 points 2 years ago, and then Kamala Harris really underperforming by big margins here in New York is just good news for the Republicans. And I think they should be very happy about this. But if they want to win, they have to put out the right candidate, and they have to put out the right messaging. They have to put out, especially because this is going into Donald Trump's midterms elections, right? So if Donald Trump has a bad 2 years, then Republicans need to put in the right candidate that would, help them, try to get the message on track, kind of like what the Democrats did in Joe Biden's midterms in 2022, which they were able to successfully, put on and say, that they were constantly campaigning on abortion, and it worked. However, this year it did not. So if the Republicans want to win New York and all these special governor races in 2026 and the Senate ones too, then they really needed to get the good messaging on when the Donald Trump midterms come, and try to shine a good light on Donald Trump's second term. And if I were the Democrats, I wouldn't just constantly hit on Donald Trump. Obviously, they need to label out some Biden nostalgia after Biden leaves office, and say, this is what we had under Joe Biden. This is what you're having right now under Trump. And if they're able to do that, I believe they can win some governor races, some Senate races. But still, way too early to tell. Way too early to tell. And this is just some small news in the New York governor race, and I assume we'll probably get more. But if we don't get any more recent governor news, I'll probably put out some videos that are just some simulation 2028 videos. I'm how these 2 candidates would do an election. But anyways, yeah, we'll see. But that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe down below, and follow me on Blue Sky at Breakdown, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.